I'm Wayne. I'm an associate ministry serving at Spirit of Joy in Weddington, North Carolina. That's in the Charlotte area. I will be your 2008 man on the street for the Synod Assembly. Our theme this year is Passing on the Faith, and I am standing with Paul Hill, our keynote. Hey, listen, real quick. I'm going to be coming at you. I'm going to be asking you this question. Ready? What is your most awkward, most embarrassing moment in ministry? And to start us off, I've got Paul. Paul, what is it?
Well, I'd have to say, there's been many, but I'd have to say one was I was preaching one day in a church where I was the guest preacher. What I wanted to say in the sermon was, we must set our hearts and fight against hunger. What I ended up saying was, we must fart against hunger. At which point, every junior high kid in the congregation went from this to this. And then and the problem I had was, do I back up? Do I keep going? What do? I do know this. They all heard my sermon that day.
Right on. There you go. Well, hey, the theme for this year is Passing on the Faith, and we're talking about faith stories. And you know, some of our faith stories can be funny church stories. And so that's why we're asking that question. You'll be seeing more of us. You'll be seeing more of Paul. Paul, good to have you here.
Glad to fart against hunger with you.
Fart against hunger. All right. Thanks so much. See ya. I have our chaplain for the Synod Assembly. We are talking about how we pass on faith in our congregation and in our families. Jennifer, tell us.
I was going to say we pass on our faith with our presence. When I was a little girl, my mother said I used to play church, and I would line up my stuffed animals, and I would use the piano bench as my altar, and I would have communion.
You know, I did the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
And at the end of my service, I would stand by the front door, and I would say, "Good morning, how are you? Good morning, how are you?" Well, a mother in my congregation recently told me she saw her daughter with all of her dolls lined up.
Uh-oh.
And she said, "What
Pastor
are you
in the
doing?"
making, huh?
Yeah, she said, "I'm playing Pastor Jenny."
Nice. Right on. Well, there you go. Pastor Jenny. We'll see another protege coming up here fairly soon, right? I'm standing here with Tony. Tony, tell us where you're from, what church, and what city.
St. Stephen, Lenore.
St. Stephen, Lenore. Now, I heard that you have a great faith story to pass on and share. Tell us about it.
Well, it really deals with the saving waters of baptism. 2 years ago at Advent, we had a live Advent wreath. And on the fourth Sunday of Advent, which meant it was beginning to dry up just a hair, one of the candles in our Advent wreath disintegrated and the wreath caught on fire during the prayer time. So my back is to the Advent wreath. And as I hear people going, "Fire, fire," I turn around to see one of our ushers with the baptismal font making his way toward the Advent wreath. Once again showing us the saving power
of baptism.
Right
on. Fantastic. Well, hey, thanks for sharing. All right, it's Wayne with the Word on the Street. We'll be back.